Wow, you look good. Are you holding on to something?
Just holding down the table.
What does that mean?
Hands are on the table.
Okay. All right. It's not going to fall over if you let go.
Nope. Just hold on, because we're about to get rolling.
All right, rock and roll time. Let's do it.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 321 of Boog Life, Pitted with Action and Manny V. I'm obviously Steve Action Jackson. Joining me, the man, the myth, the legend, Manny Vargas himself. And yeah, I'm stoked to see you, bro.
Same. It feels like it's been forever.
It does. I mean, you've been all over the place, and I've been doing my thing here in North Carolina, and yeah, stoked to link up and get another episode in the book.
Yeah, I'm stoked that you're super flexible and I know this is volunteer for you, so I appreciate it. And to sit down and talk book with you is always a pleasure. So thanks for hanging in there, brother.
Anytime we can get together and talk boog, I'm all about it. Doesn't matter, East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, wherever we're at, let's get into it.
Rock and roll.
All right, first and foremost, shout outs. My shout out this week is also kind of a piece of bodyboarding news, but my shout out goes to Ethan Capdeville. He won his fourth French national title at the age of 22, tying his father, bodyboarding legend Nicholas Capdeville. And
Nice.
I know he was a little bummed with his overall results on the world tour this year. Ethan, I still have all faith in you that you have a world title in your future. Keep your head up, keep pushing, and keep charging, kid.
Yeah, this guy is pretty legit. Let me pull up his Instagram so you guys can go hunt him down. Oh, I am not following him. Let's follow him right now. Let's do this. There we go. Do we have it on the screen there?
Yes, you do.
All right, there it is. Ethan Cap 2. And yeah, this is his Instagram. Make sure you follow him. And here's the beauty about Ethan. He loves big waves and he can compete. So those two things is what pretty much you're going to need if you're going to want to, become a world champ. And this guy has both of those coins in his pocket. So you're right. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this kid. I was a fan of his dad, and I'm glad to see bodyboarding is in the family bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah. There he is. There he is.
So,
Um, yeah, pretty solid.
so that's my shout out this week, and pretty much my news for the week as well.
Okay. My shout out is, I went online and I've been wanting to interview Edwin Nunez from Panama. He just won gold at the Pan American Games back in July, and the female winner was Luz Marie Grant from Puerto Rico. But Edwin is one of those guys that I seen him ride in the Boca's Invitational a few times, and just seeing him perform was like next level. You have your local riders, and then you have your local riders that are just that step above, that are doing things that are on a consistent basis that most people aren't doing. And he's one of those guys. And when I looked into what he's accomplished, and yeah, I mean, my shout out goes to not only him, but all those riders that are, unfortunately not on the main stage of the world tour. He should be. And it all comes down to money because it's not cheap to go compete on the world tour. So hopefully with his win at the Pan American games, he will be able to find some sponsors and be able to get on the world tour or just keep competing for that matter. So shout out to all the competitors that are putting in the time and making a face for themselves locally, regionally, and nationally. And hopefully we can see them on the world stage sooner than later. And he's one of those guys too. Big waves and consistent competitor. He's got those two in his pocket as well. So Edwin, the cool thing is, I've been wanting to interview him. He only speaks Spanish. And so what we finally lined up is tomorrow for Pipeline patrons of Book Life. You're going to be able to watch live, and the next day we'll release the video. But we are going to interview him tomorrow, 5 p.m., Thursday, 5 p.m., and it will be in Spanish. I'm gonna transcribe the interview and have it in caption, closed caption in English, so everybody can watch and find out who this guy is. He is definitely somebody that you should know because, like Ethan, he's going to be hitting the world stage sooner than later, in my opinion. So that interview is going down tomorrow, and right now I'm working with Luce to interview her, and I asked for next Thursday, but she's busy, so we're gonna probably shoot for next Wednesday. So Jackson, you'll be one of the first to know when that goes down because I'd love to have you on that interview if possible. But yeah, so that's my shout out. That's my news. I do have a couple more bits of bodyboarding news. This was interesting. When I went to Australia for the DKS event, the Drop Knee Sessions bodyboard event, annual bodyboard event, it was amazing. And back then, Clayton Pickworth, who was organizing, running it, just pretty much, he has a team behind him, an incredible team, but he's the one pulling, making things happen. And he put me on the Instagram account for DKS during that time so I can post on there my adventure for the event. And a couple days ago, I got a little notification on Instagram. You have been removed from DKS Instagram admin. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on there. So here's what's going on. And I'll pull it up on the DKS Instagram page. He handed it off. So Clayton, after, gosh, I think he said 20, yeah, 23 years he's been at this thing. And I was lucky enough to get there on the 20-year anniversary. But he's handing over the reins to somebody new. I read through this, but I forgot who he was handing those reins off to. But he is, I'm gonna do another double shout out, Clayton Pickworth for throwing out DKS for 23 solid years. And the cool thing about it, it's not going away. He handed it off. Somebody else is going to take it over, and DKS is going to continue. And knowing Clayton, he's going to put it in the hands of somebody who would love it just as much as he did. So I'm pretty excited to see that moving forward. Clayton, he's opting to put his time and effort into. I believe I read in the description here more into the mental health side of things. And I think he's got something going on where, I don't know the details, but it says Bago Breathwork is his Instagram where he'll be residing. And I think it has something to do with mental health, breathing, and it's suits him well because he's so calm. Seeing him during the DKS event and being so calm, cool, and collected was amazing. And he fits the bill to be able to pull off being involved in the mental health game because he can keep everything calm and relay that to other people. So I think we get him back on Bug Life and chat to him on his new chapter. So Clayton, expect a message from me soon. And as far as bodyboarding news, that's what, you know what, before we leave, let me follow that. And for bodyboarding news, that's what I have for the moment. So yeah,
All right. Well, the last episode we got together for, we had started touching upon wave pools. You
yes.
were at the one in Dubai on
Oh,
an epic
oh
surf
my,
tourist trip.
yeah.
You've been to the Palm Springs Surf Club several times, and I had started to mention Atlantic Surf Park in Virginia Beach. So I figured we'd get into that a little bit more this week, as we had alluded to. Um, Recently, Jay and Vicky Reel from Me Bodyboarding organized basically a bodyboard takeover of Virginia Park Surf in Virginia Beach and called it Virginia is for Spongers. And basically a who's who of East Coast bodyboarders came out for it. I mean, Jay and Vicky showed up, and all of a sudden, Buckwheat's there, Brian Stair, Ricky Miller. I could rattle off an endless list of names, and they all got to check this thing out. And it looks like a really fun wave. It's like a block or two in off of the beach, off of the legendary First Stab where pro surfer Wes Lane grew up riding, where Ricky Miller grew up riding. I've ridden there a couple of times back in the 90s. In particular, that one time we were chasing Hurricane Floyd up the East Coast and stayed at Ricky Miller's for the night, surfed there before leaving when they declared mandatory evacuations.
Oh my
But
God.
that's another story for another time. But this get together looked like so much fun. And they just recently announced a boogie night where you can ride the pro setting at night under the lights there. It's already sold out.
Wow.
No lie. Anthony Leone from the Outer Banks mentioned it to me, and he's like, "You should try and get on there so you can get back out in the water. We'd be stoked to have you there." No lie, the next day I saw a message that it was sold out. I was like, damn, that took no time at all. I'm gonna chalk it up to that East Coast stoke that we're all known for. You know, because you know how it goes on the East Coast. When there's waves, there today, gone today.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you get multiple days out of a swell. If you get an entire day, you're lucky. So having this wave pool just off of the beach in Virginia Beach, I mean, this is a gathering spot. It's a fun wave. And I actually sent you the link for the video that Jay posted, episode number 3 of Keeping It Real on the e-bodyboarding YouTube channel. And I told you to skip to the 8:20 mark. The beginning part is a lot of exposition and setup, everybody getting together, meeting up. It's a really fun video to watch, especially, if you haven't seen some of these guys in a long time. But I figured we'd skip to the 8:20 mark and them out in the wave pool itself.
Sounds good. Before I get over to the video, I've been talking to Big Todd and he's loving the wave pools. It's just so easy to put together because you're guaranteed you're going to get waves. So I'm going to work with Big Todd and JG, and we are going to put together a drop knee session at Palm Springs, and we're going to be working out on the date, lock that in, and yeah, so that's going to be pretty fun. Of course, we're going to throw the fishing line out to Paul Roach and let him know that he's invited. If you just get in the car, you're going to be taken care of. But we would do want some of the local guys here in Southern California, in all of California, and I think Jimmy Hutaff and a couple other Hawaiians are considering coming out for that. So you will hear that first here on Bug Life when the dates are and when we open the doors up for the drop nears to sign up.
Just to backtrack,
Yes.
I forgot to shout out Big Todd and JG because in the last couple of weeks, I've gotten phone calls from both of them. And JG was filling me in about, organizing, a crew for Palm Springs Surf Club. And if you guys organize something for next spring, I'm down to fly out there and spend the weekend cruising with you guys. Hit the wave pool, just cruise the area, maybe get some street tacos somewhere.
Not maybe, we will.
But
Uh,
I
yeah,
appreciate those guys giving me a call. I'm always stoked to hear from all of you guys. You guys are brothers to me, and I appreciate you keeping me in mind.
Of course, always, brother. Yeah, JG's online right now. What's up, brother? Let's go check out this video from J Real and the crew. Sorry for my little cough, guys, but here we go. Booyah. Let's press play there. Let's make sure. How's the audio?
I don't hear the audio on it.
What about now?
There we go.
Oh my God, that thing looks so fun. And barrels. That's the one cool thing about. That's the one cool thing about this technology is you got a left and a right that are going at the same time. Unlike Palm Springs, you have a peak, so you can go left and right, but it's one wave. I guess it's kind of similar, but they're separated. Well, I'm sure there was other people there aside from Jay.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, got East Coast legends like Brian Stair, Ricky Miller, Bob Hovey from Duck Outfitters in the Outer Banks, you
Ooh,
know, Sean Tuttle, Catlin Tuttle. There was a legit crew that assembled for this session.
I mean, that if you put together a bodyboard gathering and you're within driving distance, and the East Coasters, they like to drive. They will follow us up the entire eastern seaboard if they could.
We are not shy when it comes to road trips.
Exactly. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to have this thing there now to, have everybody come together. And the wave actually looks pretty epic for bodyboarding. Oh, Whirly was there. I know that
Yep.
spin. So Dan Worley was there. I love Dan.
Mike Strawley was there from United Wave Riding Alliance. Yeah, yeah, our Universal Wave Riding Alliance. My apologies. And yeah, like I said, it was just like a who's who of East Coast talent.
Oh my gosh, this wave looks insane. It's just a matter of time before we have, bodyboarders, surfers, anything, kneeboarders, longboarders that are gonna learn and catch their first waves in a wave pool, and you know, learn these skills on how to ride the wave pool perfectly, and in the excellent range, and have not rode a wave in the ocean.
Well, I want to throw this back a little bit, kind of time warp things a little bit, because for bodyboarders of a certain age like us, once upon a time, this stuff was like fantasy land. This is the kind of stuff we scribbled on our notebooks in school when we were supposed to be doing work. And now it's a reality. Those sketches on book covers and notebooks have become real life, and it's wild. Like sometimes I look at this and I'm like, I used to draw this in high school on my notebooks back in the early 90s, and it was like it wasn't real. Now it's real.
Yeah, I had that same exact epiphany when I looked out at the waves at Abu Dhabi. There, the wave is like, imagine this, what you're seeing on the screen now, but a little bigger and a little cleaner and 3 times as long.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
is freaking mind blowing. But yeah, and I do have an Abu Dhabi trip lining up for next year. I got 3 surfers ready to throw down the, $6,500 for 4 sessions. But includes hotel and food and all that, transportation. But it's not a cheap trip. And if you want to add on more sessions, it's another grand for 90 minutes. It's pretty crazy how much that particular wave is. But in comparison, it's a little bit less expensive than the Kelly Slater wave here in California, which is half the length. But
Wow.
man, this thing looks amazing. So you mentioned there's another bodyboarding meetup under the lights, and that one sold out.
Yeah, November 12th, it's sold out pretty quickly. Yeah, and they'll have the pro setting available. They'll be under the lights.
How far is this from where you're living right now?
Um, I'm not sure. I haven't driven to Virginia Beach in a long, long time, but I'm gonna say it's probably 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
But 4 or 5 hours on the road is blink of the eye for me.
I know. East Coasters, those guys are crazy.
Give me some good music and road snacks. I'm good to go, bro.
I mean, this is one of those things. You're going to show up and it's going to be perfect 3 foot barreling waves, no matter what. Um, and it's same goes for any wave pool. So you're signing up for a bodyboard trip where you're guaranteed waves. That's just
Yep.
mind-boggling.
Yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to make it there, but I'm looking forward to getting out in the Atlantic Park surf wave pool and mixing it up with some of the my fellow East Coasters that I haven't seen in a while. Unfortunately, the November 12th, I got it wasn't looking very realistic, but then, like I said, it sold out almost immediately.
Do we know if Ricky Miller is involved in any way with this?
Oh yeah, definitely. He was there. He was the one that helped set it up. He's the one that helped find accommodation for Jay, Vicky, and their daughter. And Ricky is pretty much the local bodyboarder at this wave.
And I know he surfs too. I wonder if he's doing it all.
Oh yeah, his involvement with catch surf, he's got his hands involved in a lot of stuff, and he's done pretty well for himself. I'm stoked for Ricky. He's always a really cool guy. You know, never hesitated to put up fellow bodyboarders at his place when we were younger.
Yeah.
Cruise people around. An absolute East Coast bodyboarding legend.
Yeah, I love Ricky. He stayed at our place once, and here in California, and it was a pleasure. It was awesome. That was Brian.
And you know what? I never take compliments for granted. One of the greatest compliments I was ever given was from Ricky. He won. We were riding Virginia Beach again on that trip, running with Hurricane Floyd, and we had a morning session. And when we got out of the water, he told me my riding style reminded him of Alistair Taylor. And for me, someone who has a tremendous respect for Alistair, that was a humongous compliment. And I've always appreciated that. And even years later, running into him at Surf Expo in Orlando, Florida, always stoked to just sit down and chop it up a little bit with Ricky.
Yeah, I should drop him a line and maybe get him on Book Life. But definitely, I'm gonna just reach out to him, see how he's doing. Well, Virginia Beach, incredible, incredible. So it's 17 minutes long. We watched about
Well,
half of that.
another epic wave pool trip in the books. No injuries, epic waves, barrels galore, with friends both old and new. If you weren't here, you missed it. Don't forget to sign up for the next one. Woo!
So fun.
All right, there you have it. Yeah, there's plenty more to see. There's another wave riding segment before that, but I wanted to get to the meat and potatoes of that video. And yeah, I can't wait to jump in there and give it a go.
Yep.
I'm still itching to get to the Palm Springs Surf Club out on the West Coast and cruise with you guys.
Well,
I foresee a couple of wave pool trips next year, as well as you, JG, and you know a couple other people talking me up on Cabo, returning to Cabo Freak Fest.
Oh my God, yes. And yeah, I
Well,
mean, we had this year we had Pat and Ben show up with us, and unfortunately, Pat got hurt on the second or third day, but he wants the redemption, so I believe he will be returning. So,
I have not been down to Cabo with you in 15 years. I need to rectify that situation.
how are you doing? How's your health going?
I'm continuing to make forward progress. I'm up to
Awesome,
141 pounds from 117 back in June.
perfect.
I've been working out every morning. As soon as my feet hit the floor, I spend 30, 40 minutes stretching out, doing just basic stuff, loosening up, planking, you know, squats, lunges, push-ups, crunches, nothing crazy, just using my own body weight, trying to regain my flexibility and a little
Yeah,
strength and forward progress, bro.
that's all we got, and I'm stoked you're doing it. Before we sign off, Jackson, um, really quick. I know we chatted when I was in Portugal, but I'm going to have a tail end shout out because I forgot. But big shout out to the new husband and wife, Nunito and Magdalena. Magdalena, sorry. I always throw a G in there. But I'm looking for a photo over here of the married couple. But it was insane. It was a beautiful wedding. They had a wedding in the in a church. Then they had a party at this incredible venue. I don't know where. Okay, here's one. Here's a good one. But yeah, so let me share this photo real quick. But this was at the reception area, and so my tail end shout out goes to Nunito. He's a really good friend of mine in Portugal, and he's always been there to help me for any questions or anything I needed. And I really thank them for allowed me to stay at their house and be part of their family with their daughter Gabriela. And yeah, so shout outs to Nonito for a beautiful wedding to a beautiful lady. Super stoked to be a part of that. Thank you.
Nice. Congratulations, Nunito. Wishing you many years of happiness to come.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so weekly motivation. Seeing as how I went and saw Bear Grylls speak in person last night, tonight's quote is coming from Bear Grylls.
How was that though?
That was super fun. He, had really good seats for me and my dad. Everybody who attended got a free copy of his book, The Greatest Story Ever Told. And it's a #1 bestseller. So I've got a new book to read after I finish reading Ozzy Osbourne's Last Rites. And it was just a lot of fun. He was talking about what he's doing is he's doing this tour speaking about his life and experiences, and it's called Beyond Survival, a Journey of Faith. And he talks about, the things he's been through, his faith in, faith and family, and the surrounding himself with people that, help him to achieve the things he's achieved. And it was very relatable, extremely empowering, and beyond inspiring to see him in person. Everybody sees and hears him on television and, reads his books, but to see him actually speak in person was something else entirely. And I had a great evening last night. And I could relate to a lot of it. It's not a stretch of the imagination for people to see that, people like Bear Grylls, Anthony Bourdain, and then the fictional character MacGyver have been tremendous influences on me over the years. But you know, uh, uh, those guys, along with the bodyboarding idols we grew up with and have been fortunate enough to get to know and befriend over the years, you know, these people have helped shape who I am and, guide me on my path. And, some of the craziest adventures you and I have had together, we've had moments that you could be like, yeah, I could see where that was influenced by him or the other guy. And, you know, it's all part of the journey, bro. And last night was a great moment. I left there with a big smile on my face.
Hell yeah.
So, so obviously tonight's quote is a short but simple quote from Bear Grylls. And it simply goes as this: the greatest journeys all start off with a single step. So just to add on to that, don't be afraid to take that first step. Turn your dreams into reality. Take that step, as intimidating as it may be. Take that step, keep pushing, forward progress, keep charging. With that, all that said and done, we're out. 321 in the books. You. We'll see you guys next time around.